Thank you, everyone. And my dear friend Lindsey is very talented and very gifted, but she is a wonderful soul and a very special person at her heart. She can tell you more about all her accomplishments, but she's just become a published author, second time over, with the Superpower of Your Heart. And she is dedicated to bringing consciousness, I think, to the younger generation. And she teaches violin as well. That's something that Lindsey doesn't put in her bio. She is a violinist and she also teaches children how to play the violin, but an educator at heart. So I think Lindsey brings what she can to the table, especially when it comes to children, their parents, and the educators that are shaping their lives. And I'm really, really proud of Linz. I met her probably 2.5 years ago. She's an ambassador for the Chakra Healing Quest in Mindvalley, and she's our resident yoga expert there. And so as you get to know Lindsey Frank, you will see that she really has become the butterfly emerging from a cocoon. And she has so many beautiful gifts that she just shares more and more and more with the world and communities like ours. So I'm deeply grateful to know Linz and to have her bring her gifts to the Light Warrior Collective once again. So over to you, Linz. I'll let you lead today's session, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivian, and thank you all. Oh, the hearts and the claps. Oh my gosh, I just feel just so grateful and full, and I hope you feel the same way. And this hour together, just it's so special to be here and to share this space and be ourselves in all that we do, right? And so, actually, before we start, let's just take a moment to fully arrive. All right. So wherever you are, maybe make a small adjustment. Maybe even look around the space and noticing where you are. And then bringing yourself just present, settling in just for a moment. Maybe you allow the eyes to look somewhere nearby, or perhaps even close if that is safe and comfortable for you. And just feel how it feels in this moment. Arriving in this space. Perhaps even setting an intention for this time. Knowing that every moment there is something to learn, to gain, to share, to be. And breathing it straight into your heart. And exhaling from the heart space all around you. And just taking a moment here. And as you're ready, with that intention and that presence, bringing yourself back into the space, maybe through a small movement or a couple extra breaths, or maybe even looking around the room again as your eyes begin to open if they were closed. Just such gratitude and being in connection through the heart. So thank you all again for joining here today, whether today, tomorrow, or in the future, or again. It is just beautiful to be. And as Vivian shared, I have been really connecting to the heart space, growing the heart space, as we all are, right? That's really what's needed and we're getting called to do. And we follow the calls that are given to us. And Trent had reached out to ask if I would be here today, and it ended up aligning to the day where, for some of you who may have seen in the chat box, like I'm from Illinois, I live in the US, and there are a lot of things going on here, also globally, but the day that he reached out, there was a significant loss at a school in Texas. And so I immediately knew, like, getting called into this space is where we need to be. So I'm going to call to surface just a couple of these things for the moment for us as a collective to bring that to bring healing, to bring love, to bring the heart. So from the different things that have been happening, the events, we have Ukraine, we have the war, we have things in that space, we have events in that space. We have schools, we have racially driven motives that people are doing and people are losing their lives over. And the divide is strong, but I don't want to discount the fact that there is beauty within all of these events that are happening, but we also need to recognize that the events are happening. And this goes to needing to become the superheroes who we need to be. And I was inspired to write my children's book, both for, well, there's so many layers to that. So one, it started with me and my own panic and anxiety, but as many of you probably know, with that layer, that's fear. And there's so much of that in the world that's driving our decisions. And so I was able to use those different practices in my life and sharing it with others, sharing it with kids. And so I wanted to find a way of doing that, and that was through my book. And it's called The Superpower of Your Heart. And I did bring a copy today, just so I can show you as well that heart actually is an acronym. And inside the book, it talks about how it becomes this routine. And H is health, how we can mindfully be in the space of our body, breath, emotions, and thoughts. When we're making superhero decisions, how are we connected to ourselves? And what does that feel like? And to be able to share that with kids, right, and ourselves. E is environment, and that's what can we do in our environment? Can we make a change? And we look for anything that pops, whether it's a person, an object, a place, or even the self, and allowing that an opportunity to change, or giving that motivation to make a superhero choice that we need to in our world. A is affirmation. And that's asking, what are those words that we can be saying to ourselves to be giving the motivation to take action? R is response. And that is actually, yes, that's great that we know what's happening inside and around us. That's great that we have this inner language or catching the inner language that's happening, but then taking the response with it and sharing with kids how they have that power to make that superhero choice and pulling into those events. Like, we need to be able to empower people of all places, spaces, everybody to take action in making this concrete, because we all are getting called to be superheroes. And once we take that response and once we take that action, that's the T in transform. How did either you or the experience transform based on your heart? And so that's where really all of this kind of comes together. And I'm actually going to call all of you into that space to share that we have this ability to share with anybody and everybody, that we have that choice. Instead of the impulsivity that's happening, instead of the harm that is happening, we need to be connected to our heart space. And not only that, we should be checking in with our hearts in general. It's beyond an acronym, right? It is what we do, and it is who we are. Yes, thank you, Joy, for putting in the chat. She's putting in what heart stands for everybody, and I can share more in the Facebook group as well, and I can post some links in a bit. But this is just so important in this time, because what I've also reflected on is I feel like we're in this space of a giant growth period, right? So when anything happens in our lives, we kind of get to this point where this energy has built up so much, and it finally gets to this point and it doesn't know what to do. And so then it kind of goes in any direction. And so what I'm going to call us to do today and place into our hearts is, as our teacher, as Vivian and Joy, who's here today, and Trent, who's not present here today, we met through the Chakra Healing course and the quest in Mindvalley. And Anadea shares that we are moving from the love of power into the power of love. And so we're seeing this energy that is just in this power space. And so as a collective today, as a collective tomorrow, and forever in our future, we are going to be shifting that as a collective and planting that seed here through our heart chakra space. So I hope that what I've shared inspires you. I hope that, finding the resources that you need to help children, help adults, right? And yes, we know that they're our future, but we are still a part of that future too as the adults. And when we embody this and we can be this, that's when the change can happen. So I invite us to our heart chakra meditation here, unless anyone else has any questions or comments before we open up that space. I'm just going to check the chat box real quick. Yes. So heart, health, environment. There's a little rhythm to it. So on my, I'll put this here too. I put some of the different links in there, but you can explore. But it has a rhythm to it. So if you are sharing it with children, health, environment, affirmation, response, transform. So when we have music and rhythm, and those of you who shared when we were restoring the rhythm to our space and our heart as well, music is an important way of even purifying that, right? Yes, so we have a share that it is inspiring, and having a kids program, Sage Kids. Oh, I love the title of that. And it's going to be launched. Oh, sending so much love to that. Yes, let's connect, please do. Yes, shifting from the love of power to the power of love. And love is a language that we all speak. It's beyond all language, beyond time and space. It's beyond everything. Love is love, and love is all beautiful. Okay. So I will lead us in a meditation. So if you prefer to have your camera on or camera off, make yourself comfortable and where you feel that you can receive as best and as expansive as you can. I'm just going to give everybody a moment. And I will mention as well, just so you know, I do live on a busy street and my neighbors are doing a home project. So if there are noises that happen, just allow it to be a part of the experience, and maybe view it as things happen that are unexpected and we still move through them and with them. So just allow it to be a part of this experience together. So find that space again as you arrive again, maybe with that intention back into the heart. Notice where you are in this space and choose if you wish to have your eyes open, eyes closed, or looking softly somewhere nearby, where you can truly focus on you and focus on this experience, traveling inward, yet also have that safety space. And perhaps bring that awareness to wherever you may be seated or standing or laying, wherever you are making contact. Allow that to really root down and creating a strong base. Maybe you notice that by moving all the way to the center of the earth, all of us here together are doing the same, which all connects us together. And then as you breathe, pulling up from the center, from the core, from the love from the earth, up through your legs, your body, all the way to the top of your head, and expanding upward. Knowing that you are this vessel, this connector that connects both the earth and beyond, and that through you is where the magic happens and action takes place. And then pulling the attention, maybe even simultaneously from above and below to the heart. And just be in that heart space, checking in with the body, breath, emotions, and thoughts with the heart intention, just what's present. Knowing that there is no right, there is no wrong, there just is in this moment. Those are small messages that we receive. And as you continue to pull your awareness further and further to your heart and into your heart, maybe you even feel a smile that comes to your face, just with this pure love and connection. Also knowing that it's a choice. And knowing that at any moment you can choose. Then also with that choice, there is trust. And even the capital T, trust. And whatever that means to you in this moment, you have both happening. And as the body relaxes, and as the breath becomes this dance within, and even a partnership of the giving and receiving, perhaps you notice that your heart gets even bigger. And as the heart gets bigger and brighter, maybe you notice that it is surrounding you all the way around. And with each breath, allowing that expansion to grow and grow. See how big that expansion can become. And even here, maybe even noticing how that expansion connects to everybody here today as a light warrior collective. And perhaps as the connection happens and fills every space, maybe even notice that the color might begin to shift. And whatever color you see, I invite you to maybe see if you notice any green in that space that's connected to the heart. Maybe even it's gold. Any color you notice, it's all connected and it's all one. And with each breath, allowing it to get brighter and brighter still. And even the brightest it's ever been. Because we're a collective. And as we are all connected, I invite you to bring to mind anybody who you wish to invite into this space, knowing that they are already there. The connection, the brightness is surrounding the entire planet and beyond, today, tomorrow, and forever. But with that intention, maybe you allow anybody to come to mind, known, unknown, those who need it the most, those who maybe have a different perspective, and allow them to feel and be in this space of love, knowing that they have it too. And calling into all of us and becoming and embracing the power, the super power of our hearts together, and taking bold action and helping those who need it most see the potential. Just be in this space for a few moments. We'll keep this space of silence for a few moments just to allow the healing to take place, to allow the coexistence and then moving into the space of love, and to allow the invitation for change and transformation that we need for ourselves, for those connected, for our world, and for the super choices that we make and need to make and will make for this to happen. And if you find yourself drifting into other spaces or places, maybe you've imagined a cape coming back around and just surrounding you into this space of the superpower space. And I'll bring us back by the sound of my voice in a few moments. And begin to connect back to the breath if that's safe and comfortable in this moment, and just continue to breathe straight into the heart. And honoring all that just took place. Most importantly, honoring you in this moment. And with this expansion, let it stay. Knowing that we can be expansive and expanded all the time. Even when we are fully present and awake and aware, we are still expanded. But this one is special. Maybe you see the color continuing to come to you, back into your heart space, with that expansion still remaining. And just feel, know, see, trust this moment. And I invite you, if you wish, to place your hands on your heart, connecting to the rhythm, connecting to yourself, connecting to the butterfly that is within the heart, that believes and trusts in the transformation of the self and beyond, and of the world. Feel the beat. And even if the beat may be soft, trust and know that it's there. Trust and know that maybe that's as if the wings of the butterfly are flying within it. And trust and know that all of us are feeling this now. Continue to breathe into the heart space. Perhaps even if you notice that words or anything coming up right now that inspire you, maybe there is an affirmation that does come to your heart now. Knowing that we are here, that we are change makers, that we are superheroes. Taking 3 more breaths here on your own. And after your 3rd breath, perhaps bringing your hands together and rubbing them to create some heat or any sensation that's there. And placing your hands maybe over your eyes and allowing your eyes to receive, to see and know the greater vision that we're called to do and to be. Maybe you allow your eyes to open and see. Begin to sweep down the body from the head, arms, midline. Sweeping the body. And we'll take 3 cleansing breaths together and pulling in everything that we need. So bringing your hands out to the side if you wish, breathing in, up to the sky, breathing out as you pull anything through the midline, through the chakras, through you, and out. Breathing in and pulling into the body as you breathe out, this giving and receiving. Last one, breathing in and breathing out, and letting it just fully cleanse everything from within, starting fresh and being. Perhaps bringing your hands together in whatever feels comfortable for you, or back on your heart, and connecting into the space of gratitude, the space of heart, the space of love, the space of being. And take all the time that you need to arrive back. If your eyes are ready, if they aren't already open, maybe they begin to open more. And you look around with this new lens, this new sight, this new vision, this new charge for action, or reignited, or ignited even more. And then as you're ready, we'll come back into our collective. Maybe you change your view back to gallery, and to see and to be with everybody. And then we'll open up our space for shares or gratitudes or insights, whether in the chat box, whether in your journal, whether out loud through your voice, or just allowing it to be through the heart, knowing that we'll all still feel it regardless. Thank you all so much for sharing this space and this time and expansiveness. Oh, it was very beautiful. Thank you.